Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for a 5-day-per-week wisdom and legacy building podcast. This is day 733 of our trek, and time for our Philosophy Friday series. Each Friday, we will ponder some of the basic truths and mysteries of life and how they can impact you in creating a living legacy. As we continue on this trek called life, sometimes we have questions about life, so our Friday's trek is a time that we can ask Gramps. Gramps will answer questions that you would like to ask your dad or granddad, but for whatever reasons, this is not possible. No matter how old you are, I know that all of us would like the opportunity to ask Dad or Gramps questions about life in many areas. We will address areas such as finances, relationships, health and fitness, business and work, home repairs and renovations, seasons of life, spiritual and biblical questions, and any other areas that come our way. As your fellow sojourner and mentor on this trek that we call life, it is my goal to provide you with practical wisdom and advice in many areas of life. It is crucial that I receive a constant flow of questions, so please submit your questions to Guthrie@wisdom-trek.com or send me a message at the bottom of any page on wisdom-trek.com or text me at 740-350-5732 and I will answer your questions on our Friday podcast. My hope is that this will become a highly interactive and informative time. We are broadcasting from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. When this episode originally airs, I will be in Mesa, Arizona, working with our partners on Phase 2 of our Mesa Townhome projects. We are the general contractors for a funding group that is having these homes built, so we are able to see the progress from breaking ground through the final sale of the home. So I thought it would be appropriate to answer a question about home buying today. Hey Gramps, we are looking to buy a home. Should I apply for a 15 or a 30-year mortgage? When you have a good home, there's nothing better than home sweet home. Regardless of whether you are a first-time home buyer or looking to move into a new home, the same principles should apply. Let me share some background thoughts first before answering this question, because they are so crucial in your decision. First off is to make sure that you do not look to buy a home that is more than you really need. It is not necessary to buy a home with 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms for a family of 4, especially if your budget will make it very tight. It is nice to have the spare rooms for company and other purposes, but the fact is that you'll have to pay several $100s more per month for a larger home, and if that's the case, then it might not be a wise investment. Second, do you have an adequate reserve for down payment? Most lending institutions require 10 to 20% down, and this money is not supposed to be borrowed from any other sources, including family. If you are able to purchase a home that appraises for 20% higher than the selling price, sometimes the down payment may be waived. If you do not have an adequate down payment, it would be best for you to wait until you do. There is also several hundred or even thousands of dollars in closing fees that need to be considered. Never use up your reserves to make a down payment. Leave at least 1 to 2 months of income in an emergency fund. Unexpected expenses happen to all of us. If you have credit card debt or significant student loans, use your reserves to pay those off first before investing into a home. The only exception is if your student loans interest rates are very low, which is usually not the case. The actual interest paid on credit card bills is usually much higher than what is stated, especially if you are only making minimum payments. Assuming that you can still wisely move forward with your home purchase, the next question is, what amount can you afford in your monthly budget without being strapped for cash? When you determine that, it is my strong recommendation to find a home that will fit your budget and still allow you to apply for a 15-year mortgage. It may not be your dream home, but you can choose to make any home your dream home if your family can be together and enjoy each day without the added financial pressure. Now I will give you an example of the difference between a 15-year and 30-year mortgage. Let's say that you have found an acceptable home and the selling price is $200,000. Also, let's assume that your credit score is decent and you qualify for a 4.5 annual interest rate. If at all possible, try to get a fixed rate also. And if those things fall in line, next you'll need at least a $20,000 to $40,000 down payment unless there is equity built into the home. For our example today though, let's say that the amount borrowed is the same as the selling price. A 30-year mortgage at 4.5% will equate to a monthly payment of $1,015. But this does not include insurance, property taxes, and in some cases monthly HOA fees, which will usually be added to your monthly payment as escrow. Let's say the escrow adds another $300 to your payment, for the total of $1,315 per month for housing. If you take the 30 years to pay off your mortgage, you will have paid a total of $364,815 for your $200,000 home. That's $164,815 in interest, almost doubling the price of the home itself. If, on the other hand, you are able to obtain a 15-year mortgage at the same 4.5% interest rate, your monthly payments will be $1,530 per month, plus a $300 escrow fee, making your monthly payments $1,830, or $515 more per month than a 30-year mortgage. I realize that this is a substantial increase, but let's look at the results. If you pay off your mortgage in 15 years, you will have paid a total of $275,398 for a $200,000 home. That's $75,398 in interest. You will save $89,417 in interest alone by having a 15-year mortgage. In addition to this, the amount of equity in your home will grow much faster each month as you are paying more on the principal of the home, even in a housing market where prices are not growing very fast. Now, I do realize that there are many other factors, such as how rapidly home prices are increasing, current interest rates, what you may be currently paying for rent or other housing, and what your current financial situation is. Don't forget, though, even on newer homes, there is always repair and upkeep that you do not have when you are renting, and this cost can be substantial on an annual basis. Now, with that analysis done, I do have a few other comments. Because of the favorable tax laws and the fact that home values historically rise in every market over a long period of time, purchasing usually makes more sense than renting. Keep in mind, though, the less you borrow, the better. The shorter the mortgage length, the better. If you do not buy more house than you really need and are able to manage your monthly payments without straining your finances, a home purchase can be a very good investment under most conditions. All things considered, though, it is better not to be in debt. But if you do borrow, borrow wisely. There's nothing more freeing than being completely out of debt, including your mortgage. Gramps has been blessed to be in this situation for this season of life, and it is very freeing. Being debt-free gives you the options to make wise choices and more opportunities to further God's work throughout this world. Gramps will wrap up his answer today with some wise teaching from God's words. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 7. Just as the rich rule over the poor, so the borrower is a servant to the lender. And Romans chapter 13, verse 8. Owe nothing to anyone, except for your obligation to love one another. If you love your neighbor, you will fulfill the requirements of God's law. Next week, we will have another question on Ask Gramps. Gramps will answer your questions that you may have about life and will provide you with practical wisdom about any areas of life. Please submit any questions that you have to Guthrie@wisdom-trek.com, and Gramps will answer them on our Friday podcast with wisdom and philosophy that Gramps has gained over the years of experience and study. I know that you'll find these insights interesting, practical, and profitable in living a rich and satisfying life. Our next trek will be Mindship Monday, where we will help you to live differently by thinking differently. So encourage your friends and family to join us, and then come along with us on Monday for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. If you'd like to listen to any of the past 732 daily treks or read the associated journals, they are all available at wisdom-trek.com. You can also subscribe to iTunes or Google Play so that each day's trek will be downloaded to you automatically. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, and to others generously, lead with integrity, and then leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you on Monday.